Hello, hello, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last time we went through basically all of Chapter 22, starting with the Dungeon of Arcana, then making our way through Vethia, making our way through Lightningcraft down here with these multi-blocks in this hall here, and finally finishing out the chapter with Extreme Reactors, building this large reactor here to make us a lot of plutonium, and as you can see I've spent quite a lot of time in the world since we've finished building that reactor. Between episodes in preparation for AgriCraft, I built up some areas to have plots of farmland over here in the Dark Realm. We have 3x3 patches of Salic soil, those hydrators that should cover that entire quadrant of 3x3s. Each of these interactors is already upgraded, and so are the hydrators. We have tier 1 seeds on this lower one, tiers 2 seeds on this medium one, and tier 3 seeds will be out on this higher layer here. I have tier 1 and 2 basically done. There's a few that I skipped for both of these, but for the most part, this is basically all that we actually want from these. So currently we're making ice, basalt, water, grains of infinity, nature, wood, stone, dirt, coal, nether, chicken, fire, rubber, hope graphite, sulfur, saltpeter, basalt, mystical flower, cow, and obsidian essences. And all of these drawers are basically full, with the exception of basalt because we're probably backlogging the dark ingots. These things to make dark ingots, or energized dark ingots. Well, I mean, still dark ingots, you get the idea. I made this machine here. This is a design I actually built by hand. I watched a tutorial, but had to change a lot of things from it, so I think this is more or less a new design, or at least it's new to me. Using a lot of integrated dynamics logic, we read the stats of the 3 crops here, and store them as values for each one individually. Then when certain conditions are met, either these miners will break, or that miner in the back will break. This miner in the back is hooked up to a porcupine to break this crop stick right here. These users also pulse in sequence after breaking these crop sticks to add more. So for example, if I add a carrot seed here, you'll see it'll spread, break, and then once all 3 of these crops are fully mature, it'll break the middle and let it get ready for crossbreeding. This design always leaves at least 1 seed in one of these 3 slots, and anything else goes into this drawer over here. So we don't actually have an internal inventory with the dynamic system here. That was one thing that kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, so I just tried to work around it, and I think it worked pretty well. The only issues I occasionally run into are if crops are growing too fast. For example, if we have all 6 of these hydrators hitting both of these crops will add a high growth stat. But the solution for that, I felt, was to make them each only affect 1 crop and the mutator. That way the mutator, which is the one we always want to go fastest, will always be running with the max force of all 6 hydrators. But these side crops won't grow too fast to where it causes issues. If anyone has any interest, I can talk more about this at another time, but overall I'm pretty darn happy with how this turned out. I was very satisfied to make something proper with integrated dynamics. If not fully myself, then, close to it. I also have a writer down here that will basically ding this note block if this is finished while I'm still in the area. So I'll hear a ding whenever there's a 30 crop stick in any of those slots up there. So I'll know when to go cycle the next one. Alternatively, it plays through this transmitter, so if I'm in the overworld, it'll start a music disc, so I'll know that it's ready here, even if I'm not actually here. I could probably have it be a note block instead, but I like the music disc because it has a very long range. So for today, my goals are pretty straightforward. This is a hold back on progression and catch us all up to snuff kind of thing. I actually did do tier 1 and 2 seeds basically entirely off camera, just because I felt there was nothing really interesting to talk about there. I mean, we've made the seeds before and it's just, the machine working. There's a few we haven't finished here, like silicon seeds, or some of these extra mob seeds, but I don't really feel I need to do that right now, at least not until I have a reason to make those seeds, or once I'm near the end of the pack, looking for 100% completion. What we do care about, however, is this tier 3 row of seeds. I have organized them mostly in a cool color fashion over here in my bookmarks, so it'll make a nice spectrum, hopefully. At least that's the idea. And it'll look very pretty. So basically all of these seeds require a few simple things. They may require an existing seed of the previous type. For example, redstone alloy seeds require a redstone seed, but something like redstone seeds is just the crafting seed. So we may have to make multiple of something like redstone seeds, but we don't actually have to make multiple because we can dupe them with mystical agriculture and AgriCraft. For the most part though, every single other recipe is just 4 of whatever item, 4 intermedium, and a condensed crystal. The type changes depending on what we're getting. For example, Guardians take a condensed aqua crystal, Solium takes a spiritus crystal, Slime takes an alchemia crystal, stuff like that. So basically what this means is we're going to, 1, be adding a lot of these condensed crystals to our recipes in the auto-infusion matrix, but 2, I'm hoping that we actually have enough of each of these crystals for what we need. I think we should. I've spent a lot of time with Wisp Spawner running, but if we need, say, a ton of Potentia crystals, I kinda hope we have enough. Beyond that though, this is going to just be a lot of crafting, planting, and waiting. So you'll probably see me cut in little bits of, quest completions or the like. But beyond that, I think I want to just work on passive runes today. If I'm making something like tool poppets, runes are kind of a bottleneck. For example, for one tool poppet, we need to make 2 runes of earth, 2 runes of water, 2 runes of winter, 2 runes of greed, a rune of fire, 2 runes of air. That's a lot of runes. I think we can upgrade most of our stuff to Gaia mana spreaders now. We're no shortage on Gaia spirits. So I think if there's a time to kick Botania into overdrive, it's now. Especially considering if we're not using Botania heavily here in Astral Sorcery, I get the rough feeling that we will be using it excessively in AgriCraft. Speaking of AgriCraft, these rainbow tablets are used all the time during AgriCraft, along with a lot of these tier 3 runes. Something like rainbow tablets does eventually get a cheaper recipe in the infusion matrix, but this is after we finish AgriCraft. So I want to get these on either mostly autocraft or fully passive if we can as well today, if we've got the time for it. Rainbow tablets are going to be quite the rabbit hole though. We could passive mystical tablets quite easily, though the mana pool requirements might be a little sketchy. Magical tablets, we have basically all this already on autocraft, if not passive, so this is just another Hellfire Forge. Purified tablets, we need to put a little bit of effort into, again, passive runes. We actually have the blood shards already separated, and we probably have the infrastructure to separate slates as well, or plates. So purified tablets might be pretty easy, which means that magical tablets might be quite easy, which means that mystical tablets may be quite easy. So if we're lucky, rainbow tablets shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. For the rainbow slates, we do have to upgrade the altar to tier 6, the passive altar rather, so it might look a little weird, but otherwise it would be fine, I think. The real question is if the tier 6 altar can handle the throughput of a rainbow slate's consumption rate, which I think it can. I think we supply more than 300 LP a tick to it. Yeah, so I'm going to start working on some of these seeds here, and then while I'm doing that, I will cut in with talking about passive runes. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so it's the next day actually. I came back to this, and we've upgraded again. And this time I am very pleased. It's a little bit of a mess down here, but the short of it is now we have logic so that when these are all at 30, or rather when this one's at 30, it will read that this is at 30, break everything, and put it into here, and then send a pulse to a user down here that will place a new seed on this crop stick. So now we have actually fully automatic seed growth, even including input-output, which is super important. Being able to automatically input is a huge change, because now I can just like make all of these seeds and then just dump them in here, provided I have enough space in this crate, which I probably don't, but I can just get more crate. Easy fixes, right? And I gotta say, I am thrilled. For the most part, this is my first real foray into integrated dynamics, and while I can't take credit for like everything, I am very pleased with how I've applied what I've seen from like videos and tutorials and the like. Again, I don't think this is like a design that exists. I just took principles from other people's designs. If nothing else, then like how to read these things. Like I didn't know how these strings were going to work or how to actually extract the values from MBT data. But taking it and making it my own feels really, really satisfying, I gotta say. It's one of the things I love most about modded Minecraft. Being given a problem and having to solve it yourself using your own critical thinking is really, really satisfying to do. I really like it. So I'm going to craft up some more of these. We're up to, I think, Amber right now. Yes, Amber is on deck. I'm going to get started on these next few seeds, and then we'll work on passive runes. And if I get a quest, then you'll see it probably. Alright, and we are back after quite a while. It's been probably 2, maybe 3 days since the previous bit of me talking. Since then, the crop machine has been going very well. We're actually almost at the end now. We are finishing up nether quartz seeds, then we have the 4 different thermal blazes, and then we will be all caught up. We have automatic essence into stuffing happening over here. And boy, it is crazy to see 176,000 redstone coming out of nowhere, or 60,000 redstone alloy, 50,000 lumium, 180,000 glowstone. I mean, look at all this glowstone ingots too. All that sweet, sweet platinum. Bluix is finally automated, and I'm never gonna have to go to the end again, or endstone at least. Plus, we saved on a few alloy smelters for things like electrum, constantan, bronze, and invar. So I shut those alloy smelters off in the overworld, just to save on some resources and etc. We're getting to the part of the pack where we're really getting a lot of better alternatives for things we've been doing for a while. So I'm slowly going to be shutting down and sunsetting a lot of those things. I imagine at some point our poor ingot wall will eventually become entirely defunct, but you know, there's still quite a number of things on it left. We now have nether bricks and the types of leathers over here, along with obsidian. Those should all be really easy and good to go forever. Of course, our energized dark situation is a lot better now. And I'll probably add a few more things in this general vicinity. We have a few more crops to go, as I said, nether quartz and the Blaze Brothers. But overall, I'm very content with what we've done so far. The problem is this isn't a very long video, if I were to call it now. We've finished almost everything on the docket, save for the Rainbow Tablets. But in the quest to get Rainbow Tablets, we of course needed Purified Tablets. And these things have just about bankrupted me. We have 0 ethereal slates. We're still catching up on imbued slates. We have 0 concentrated catalyst. We're still catching up on things like Crepitus and Offensa. These are using the offensive and defensive cores over here. So we have a lot of backlogging to do still. We're also still fully capable of crafting with these, however. So like if we wanted to make, say, 32 rainbow tablets, I mean, all we're missing is elementium. But otherwise, like, we can do this. And very quickly at that. So I think it's about time we finally crack Astral. So to start, we need rock crystal ore. We can get this from induction smelting stone and shattered mystical iron crystals, which we get from blowing up mystical iron. So I wonder if I actually have some space to make this setup include mystical iron. Yep, pretty simple. We just added on to the hyper diamond setup. Now, a little upsettingly, we need an actual induction smelter, not an alloy smelter for this. So I need to go find an induction smelter somewhere. Nah, to heck with it, we'll just set it here again. Who cares? It's not like we're gonna have this long term anyway. We can't exactly automate rock crystal. And I got myself the Fortune 5 pick, so hopefully this will be a little bit better for us. Ah, we ran out of space. We'll just leave this all in here for right now. Ah, wonderful. And our quest is the Astral Tome. Or quest reward, rather. Ooh. Oh, hey, another trophy. That was pretty fast after the last one, all things considered. Yeah, it didn't even take me a week, alright. Alright, so now that we have the Astral Tome, I think we can actually do something with these Lucent Scrolls, right? Maybe I need to get farther along before I can use these. Well, to start with, we need our Luminous Crafting Table. Normally we would need a Collector Crystal for this, but not in this pack. Oh, and a Crafting Table. Shouldn't be too hard then. This is not a crafting table. This is an elite crafting table. I mean, this doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world, all things considered. Oh, per ruined marble? Really? But this is so much stuff. Oh my gosh. Buddy, chill. Alright, whatever. We need 6 ruined marble plus 7 basic crafting tables. No, 8. Yeesh. Oh man. We're still got a backlog on ethereal slates. Well, I guess it's probably a good time for me to take a break. I've been at this for quite a while, even if it, hasn't seemed like it. So I guess I'll probably finish up the rest of AgriCraft and come back in a little bit. Alright, so I went and made a stack of ruined marble, because I imagine we're going to need more of this in the future. Next we need a resonating wand. This looks quite easy. We need engraved coins. Do we have some spare those, actually? We have an engraving press. Oh, I'm noticing we actually need these sparkling aquamarines. So we need aquamarine and plutonium. There we go. That wasn't too hard. I imagine we'll have to get an excavator for aquamarine at some point, though. But, that's not now. So next we need a light well. Basically, we melt down stuff in here. Stuff being sparkling aquamarines, resonating gems, rock crystals, etc. And as those things melt down, they give us liquid starlight. And liquid starlight is very important. Right now we can use these rock crystals, which we do have kind of a ton of, but we can't really automate that, so, give and take. We'll probably use rock crystals for now, and then at some point swap over to resonating gems once we have those passive. This seems pretty doable besides the Witch's Cauldron, but I think we can just request one of these, right? No. I mean, you know, it's just a couple recipes, though. Alright, not too bad. Alright, so if you're not familiar with how Astral Sorcery works, instead of just crafting stuff, we have to basically do a little magic spell. So while it's nighttime and there's lots of starlight, our luminous crafting table is full of starlight. So we can smack it with a wand, and it does cool stuff. We need to do this a couple times, though. Well, I suppose we can finally break into this area now. Actually, I'm not going to break this sign yet. It looks nice. I plan on having the final tiers of altars and the other little automations we have up here, because, I mean, this is kind of a high mountain. I feel like it's a good place for it. But, you know, I don't exactly know where all those things are going to go yet, because I need sizing for that, right? Also, we don't have access to them. Right now, though, we're going to set up a black hole tank with these light wells, and we'll just toss some of these dinky rock crystals in here, and this will produce us liquid starlight. The quest needs us to make a bucket of the stuff, but also we need to make some of these glass lenses, and I know we need a whole ton of these, so I want to make a ton of these. You know, one of these days I'm going to hook a storage bus up to this thing. But not today. Lens time. Now we will be able to see. So next we have a few options. We can either make a looking glass to finally find some constellations. We can make some illumination powder for stuff. We can make a phosic resonator to basically see where the best place to do stuff is. Or we can make some infused wood for more crafting materials. I think we'll start with the phosic resonator, just so we know where to build stuff for the near future. And this seems quite doable. Yeah, this chiseled marble's like a little annoying, but it's not like bad. Yep, easy enough. Alright, so we should see a big patch of blue on the ground somewhere. I think we can do it whenever. I hope it doesn't have to be nighttime. It might have to be nighttime. Well, while we wait for nighttime, we should probably work on some of this other stuff. So I guess we can get the Starlight Crafting Altar prepared. This seems also quite easy. Oh, never mind. Full tank of Starlight. Alright. Albeit that's not very hard. It just, you know, takes a little bit. How's about some Constellation paper then? We're going to need a total of 16 of these for the entirety of Astral Sorcery. So I guess we can get started now. Doesn't seem particularly hard. But we're going to need 16 of these scribing tools, which is, again, not hard, just, you know, upsetting. And our gypsum finished right as we finished making scribing tools. Ah, okay, yeah, we've already discovered some constellations. We got Vicio, Evorsio, Evitas, and Discidia. So we can put these in our little book here. And now we can look at our constellations. So pretty, aren't they? Oh, and now we can do the Lucent Scrolls. Excellent. Let's crack all these open. Oh, was that all of them? I didn't think it would be so few. What did we get here? Ancient Shrine locations, that doesn't matter to us. How the Cave Illuminator works, sure. Splitting crystals, I do know about this, unfortunately. Crystal tools, the tool stats. Oh, interesting. I don't think I'm going to use those, but, you know, cool. The grindstone. Oh, that's interesting. I want to try that on a spare halite blade if I have one, actually. That would be really fun. Oh, you can make lava in these? That's cool. So when you throw nocturnal powder, it spawns a bunch of mobs, so I guess this depends on where you throw it. So that makes sense. Oh, but you can get like a lot of endermen by doing this because it doesn't care about rarities. I wonder if you do that in a woodland mansion if it'll spawn like a ton of evokers. And then this just tells you where to find rock crystal in a world that would have rock crystal. But we don't, so, you know. Oh, you know what? I bet maybe I will be able to get more researches or knowledges once I get farther into the skill tree, or whatever you call this. Ah, shoot, I spent the whole day blabbing and I forgot to do anything. Well, let's see if the Phosic Resonator will tell me anything. Is there anywhere near my base with the blue sparkle? Oh, you know what? I bet my particles are broken. I should probably relog. Well, I relogged and I'm still not really seeing any particles, so maybe I'm just unlucky. Well, here's some particles, over here by Blood Magic. Not the most ideal spot, given that's a river, but I suppose it's an option. Oh, here's another spot. Oh my gosh, actually, like, here's a whole... Oh, wow. This is a lot. Yeah, here's a whole place to do it. Okay, we can set up shop here then for the time being. It's not very far at all, too. It's just across the way from the liquid stuffs. Oh, starlight's fading. We gotta do this fast. Daytime's coming. Yay! Look at this cool thing. So we also need to set up an actual, like, altar for this. We need to have multi-block. So we'll build that over here where the starlight's good. And by that, I mean up in the air where the starlight's even better. Ooh, actually, now that we've unlocked some more stuff, let's unlock some more Lucent Scrolls. Well, this looks cool. So we have this Mashowa constellation. I wonder what this does for us. I've never seen this one before. So we actually need some sooty marble for this. So we need to melt some Skyfather onto marble. It's not too bad, just like the sparkling aquamarine, I guess. Here we are. We need quite a bit, though, to get our altar done. 21 to be precise. So next up, I think we want to make a lens, which will let us redirect starlight from stuff, and a floating crystal, which will produce some amount of starlight. Oh wait, no, okay, we can't make this one yet. This needs stardust. Ew! Ew, gross. I mean, conducted impetus isn't too bad anymore. We have a good amount of impetus crystals. Or at least they're not like the worst thing in the world to make. Okay, but beyond that, we need 5 tanks of starlight, some lenses, sodium, impetus, the like. Well, we're actually short on starlight, so we gotta wait for that to cook up some more. So, let's do these things, because I want the telescope, actually. So, illumination powder seems quite easy. We just need this yellow Illumar, which is quite easy. And for the looking glass, we need the infused wood, some goggles of revealing, and some crystals we've made before. Not too bad. Oh, but we need another engraving coin. Aw, man. I hate making these. Well, to make this engraved infused wood, we need normal infused wood. So we need to toss glimmering dream wood into liquid starlight, which is just another step, but I mean, you know, steps is steps, that's still stuff. Albeit it doesn't seem like the most expensive stuff in the world. So we'll make like 32, I guess. Oh, we're chasing daybreak here. This is not something we're doing tonight, but we'll do it tomorrow night. That feels wrong to be able to do. I mean, I picked a good time to come back here. The basalt seeds are almost done, and that is our final seed, actually. I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes waiting for this final crossbreed to go like, oh, I hear a ding, it's done! But I've just been like I did everything else that I needed to around here, now I'm just waiting. Like these are 29 seeds, right? Like these shouldn't take that long to breed, you would think. The grass here is almost fully spread, that's good. Oh, did it breed and give me another... whatever. Maybe this 30 will breed faster, because I know it's going to be a 30, right? Right? Ain't that pretty. I need to add some more flowers and the like around here, though. Again? Are you kidding me? Dude, I swear it's always the 29. Ah! Ding! Yippee! And no more seeds to go. We're done! For now. Ain't that a beautiful sight? If you're wondering why marble's in the middle, I just cut it from the whole thing. We don't have any marble seeds currently. We probably have some in storage somewhere, but I just didn't feel like making a plot because, well, every other plot was full. We might make like a garden close for this at some point, but I don't imagine we're going to need more than 900 stacks of marble essence before the end of the pack. Alright, detour over. Back to telescoping. So we can put this down and we can look in the sky for constellations, such as this one. Ooh, can I figure this out without even looking at the book again? I feel like I remember this constellation. I think this is Avitus. Yes. Oh, and this for sure is Discidia. No, it's not. This is Evorsio. We actually have some more constellations to learn now that we have the telescope, right? Or... no, not yet. Okay, let's, I mean, we should probably make all these then just put them back. Or the extras back, rather. Oh, this one I do recognize. I think this is Armara. Yeah, I like see the pattern on this one, vaguely. I don't know which constellation this is off the top of my head, though. Like, these are the stars, but I don't know exactly what these make. Well, now we've discovered the main 5. Well, actually, have we discovered the main 5? Am I lying? No, we haven't found Discidia yet. Is that Discidia? I think it is, actually. Yeah. There we go. Just in time. Now can we get some more constellations? No, not yet. But we can finish making our collector crystal. Or floating crystal, I guess. And so next we probably want a linking tool and a lens. This seems pretty doable. Well, for a little while we can put our floating crystal here. And we can't link anything with it yet, but once we're able to, we'll be able to have this have a lot of starlight even during the day. Which it already has not a bad amount. But it'll be probably actually like doable for some crafts that aren't just like ingredients of ingredients. Well, we actually have enough starlight to make the linking lens. Oh, this actually gives us a perfect lens. That's very nice. Thank you, Divine Journey 2. Well, while it's daytime, I know we can't craft our thing yet. I do know, however, we need this ludicrous ore to keep going. This is for making star metal, so we need ludicrite. And for this, we need blocks of ludicrite. We make this with plutonium, elementium, and an advanced ender core that's been activated. So we need to actually automate that now for real, which is fine. I believe at some point in Bombcraft we unlocked the stabilized end crystal. Yeah, this thing right here. This is just a block that simulates an end crystal so we can, you know, not blow ourselves up, which is very handy. Well, we don't have our automatic ender cores yet, but we can make this Ludicrate now. We have this obviously downgraded, but honestly this still might be a bit too much. But that's okay, most of this stuff is pretty easy. Plutonium's basically free, Elementium's fully passived. The only real problem here would be the ender cores, so we probably want a couple crafters for this. Oh, this seems to be working pretty well. There's those done. Now we just need somewhere to put a user with this end crystal in front of it. Actually, we'll just set this down here. So, okay, it's a use item on block. Oh, okay, I have a fix for this. So if we just fill up the rest of these spots with cobblestone, hey, then have this extract only the advanced ender cores that are activated, and of course set a filter. Works like a dream, alright. Awesome, passive advanced ender cores, and thus passive Ludicrate. Oh, and it's nighttime, so let's make our linking tool. So now we should be able to click this to here. Yes, so now it provides some more starlight. We can also hook this up to here, which I think makes it split the starlight it's shooting, but that's okay for right now. And so our next quest is the star metal. So at some point we're gonna have a more permanent setup for this, but for right now we'll just have ludicrous ore and place star metal ourselves. And it needs to be another induction smelter recipe because nothing can use alloy smelters anymore. Alright, so now what we can do is we can hook this up to here, and we have these little particles coming off it now. We're boiling the ludicrous ore. This is going to be quite slow because it's daytime, but, you know, it'll be faster at night. And it won't matter how fast it is once it's passive. There we go, star metal. We're going to need a lot of this, though. So I think I'm going to get some actual breakers and placers for this anyways, even when we're batch crafting, quote-unquote. Sorry, I missed the quest completion. So now we need stardust and star metal. That said, far and away our best way of doing this is going to be quadrupling it with our pyro concentrator, because I was a good little critter and I put together good ore processing. So because the actual reason we set this up initially was for platinum and we don't need that anymore, we're just going to get rid of nickel on this channel entirely and replace it with star metal. So we're going to set a drawer filter here for star metal. Oh, where did it go? Oh no, it went into one of these things, didn't it? Oh no, oh man, so we probably have star... huh? Oh, because it went through that already. Okay, yeah. So I need to blacklist stardust from here, or star metal ore from here, and then now it should work. Well, not now, but after that. So now we should be able to watch this 4-star metal become 4-star metal ore become 20 star metal ingots. Well, in total it'll be 20 because, you know, 16 plus 6 is 22. What am I talking about? 22 star metal ingots. Yes, very good. But we also need stardust to complete the quest. Dude, can you seriously not even sag mill this? Are you serious? We have to... Ugh, come on! No fun, man! Everything has to be thermal. Let me use Ender IO. I can't use it in the modern versions. Come on. Okay, there we go. Now we have stardust. So now we have a number of options. We can upgrade our altar again to the celestial altar. We can craft celestial crystals. We can make an attunement altar. We can get a conversion wand, which is like an exchanging gadget, sorta. We can make celestial gateways, which are very easy and cheap teleportation. And I want really most of those, I think. I am going to take a brief break just to do some stuff, but I think after that we're going to come back to the celestial altar here, because this is a lot of good stuff, and that dewarpification catalyst looks quite nice, I gotta be honest. But probably after getting that we'll do attunement, or maybe attunement then this. I'm not sure. Attunement's really good. Attunement's like really, really good. Alright, so I spent a little bit of time between cuts here. I have built up this altar down here, and the attunement altar right there. We still have that one up there in case we need it, but I don't think we will for very long. I also have the attunement altar craft ready to go, so we'll be able to make that very shortly. And over here I have most of the pieces to make the flux warp unwarpification talisman. I don't want to go on too much longer today, so I think we'll have a good stop right around after attunement, or maybe this infuser here. Yeah, I think I would probably want to get to this first. I would really like this, and we need these resonating gems for that. And these are from Starlight Infusion. Anyway, if we want this dewarpification talisman, we need some flasks of Sane Thoughts and tainted blood pendants of Sane Thoughts. So we need to use the botanical brewery like so. And I don't know how to work this thing. So if I would just put like this on top, I assume that's going to infuse that first, and then one of everything. No, it looks like it's doing it. Oh. Oh no, okay, I see it slowly filling. I'm gonna get some more mana spreaders. Oh, Alright, that took a while, but we got there. Oh, 7 more to go. Yeesh. Altar time. Ooh, I forgot how pretty this one is. Thank you. And we can set this right here. And I think that's right. Yes, I can tell because there's sparkles on the floor. I've got a few other things I need to finish up making tonight. Like this one. And this one. But we still need to actually make the multi-block for the quest here. So now we can attune ourselves to one of these 5 main constellations. Diskydia is all about offense. Visayo is all about moving fast. Ivor Show is all about destruction. I think this is like digging speed. Avitas is all about creation. I think this is health. And Armara is about defense, so this is just raw defense. Truth be told, I'm quite satisfied with my skills in all of these. Let's go with this one just to start, because this is really easy to build XP with. So we need 9 spectral relays, and holding out the constellation paper tells us where to place each of them. Ooh, a little bit pricey though. So I think I'm going to put these in fusion areas either like here or here, because we definitely want at least 2 of them. Maybe 3 at some point. But I'm thinking at least one's going to go here, one's probably going to go there. I need to bring this pathway up a bit. I want to connect these 2 areas. So they're probably going to be off to the side, maybe like there, there, there. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Right now though, I got to put these spectral relays up in these blue particle zones. What? Oh, did I get pranked? Is it not actually out tonight? No, this is out at all nights, isn't it? Was it cloudy? Oh, that was weird. Alright, so a fresh relog later, and I'm ready to attune. I'm ready to see all these pretty particles. We just stand here, and cool animation. That was weird. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe the cow got in the way. Oh, whew. Alright, and we are attuned, so I think now we can grab some more constellation paper. Yes! So now we have unlocked dim constellations, such as Booties, Mineralize, Lucarna, Horologium, Fornix, Octagons, Purgatrio. If you've gotten this far and haven't been able to tell, I've been mispronouncing them on purpose. Did you fall for it? Oh wow, we've walked like 10 feet and we've already leveled up. So for context, after we're attuned, we now have a leveling thing we can do. Because we're attuned to Visio, I'm gonna give up the bit, sorry. Because we're attuned to Visio, we gain XP by walking around, and it looks like the level cap is 100. It is typically 30, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, and here's the skill tree. Path to Exile players might be a little overjoyed to see this one. Each of these little nodes has quite a lot of things going on with them. Some of these smaller nodes are pretty reasonable. Oh, we get a reach for Visio? Oh, that's kind of awesome, actually. Yeah, then we start getting some movement speed and dodge chance. And other things out here we can kind of, see and decide what we want to work towards. Something like this might be okay if we didn't have Depth Strider, but we do. This one's one of my personal favorites, but not really necessary for us here. Spectral Wings is a great perk if you can have access to Astral without, being 1,000 hours into the pack. Ooh, what's this? Oh, interesting. It looks like a lot of this stuff is runic shielding over here. I wonder if there's more of those Thaumcraft integrations. Ooh, knockback immunity is kind of nice. Ooh, a constant level of fortune is kind of cool. This one's probably a must take if we can get there. This seems great. Ooh, that's quite good. Oh, that's cool. You get sniper effects or shotgun effects. I don't know what these ones are up here, because normally these roots are, the constellations, so I don't know what the circle up here means. I guess I probably have to get a bit closer to figure that out. That could be cool though. There's a lot of stuff that I'm probably going to look through quite a while in here, but to begin with, we need to ideally go to Singularity. This lets us connect to any of these other routes, or maybe these? I see these Epiphany ones over here let us jump to the other ones. So if we get this Epiphany, we could get this Epiphany without having to go all the way over here, because we need to unlock each of these skills in sequence. For example, to get this agility here, I need to actually put the points into here to do that. And as you can see, our FOV changed in real time. So depending on how fast we end up going, I might tune down our speed to speed 2, because we can't really turn off the astral speed very much. Actually, can you? Yeah, we do get these ceiling sigils, and these aren't particularly hard to make. I think that lets us turn off perks, so maybe that is pretty easy actually. Yeah, with 100 points at our disposal, I imagine I will be getting a lot of things that will be very cool, such as this, which seems quite good. 20% melee damage is pretty strong. Overall, I think Dissidia over here is going to be a pretty good option as well. We kind of always need damage because, well, Divine RPG. Even if we aren't doing Divine RPG anymore, let's be real, Divine RPG scaling will come with us until the end of the pack. Plus, once we go and fight the Chaos Guard, it might be nice to have some extra damage. Yeah, Astral's fun. Astral's really cool, which is why I really wanted to get attuned. And that heart beating is probably a good indication to use this. And now I am sane. I am normal. Anyway, to state that normalcy, I'm going to stare into my new paperweight for the next 10 years. Eventually, we can also get this shifting star. This lets us fully respec our skills. Or we can upgrade it to an irradiant star, which will respec our skills, but we keep the points, and we reattune to a different constellation. But again, that's, worries for another day. Man, look at the XP go up just from, doing this. That's crazy, right? Anyway, let's make this infuser. Alright, so we can set this here, and now this should be a formed multi-block. So we can take these sparkling aquamarines and turn them into resonating gems. It's only a resonating gem if it's from the resonating region in France. Otherwise, it's sparkling aquamarine. I guess. Yeah, and it consumes one of these things of starlight, so we need to add more to this. This is something we'll be able to automate later, once we get the containment chalice, I believe it's called. But for right now, we're just doing this manually. And so now we can make a celestial collector crystal. This is much better than the standard floating one, and it needs a structure to channel all of the power of it. This one right here. So this is the recipe, and the better a crystal we use in the middle here, the better we get for our uses, basically. So using a max size and purity crystal will give us a very, 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 very good collector crystal. And I just so happened to grow a few of these collector crystals, or celestial crystals. We have a pretty standard one here, about half size, half purity, half cutting, although cutting doesn't matter very much. We have a real banger right here, pretty good size, very high purity, and some alright cutting. And here we have a true Generation 0 crystal. Look at those stats. Gorgeous. 500 size, 95 purity, and 75 cutting. This one will not be used in anything. He will be the grandfather of every crystal we have to come. Comparatively, we have the hiccup of the bunch. We have a size 10 crystal with, the purity's not terrible, but size 10 and 49, that's horrible, right? That's abysmal. Very funny. This one I will hold on to because it made me giggle quite a lot. So to grow these crystals, we basically just toss them into liquid starlight here. Oh. Yeah, we can just toss it into the liquid starlight, and those particles that start flying basically show that it's going to grow. Eventually, after growing enough, they will consume the liquid starlight and get bigger, and the size will go up. Once the size reaches max, they have a chance to, after being thrown in again, split into two smaller crystals, one with a chance of having a higher purity. And we want a max size, max purity crystal to be our collector crystal over there. Now the thing is, that's going to take a lot of time. Time that I don't really feel like spending this episode, I'll be honest. So I'm going to call it here for today. We did a lot today. A lot. We souped up AgriCraft to the extreme, and now we have a lot of materials. Look at our osmium supply, our redstone, our glowstone, or glowstone ingots for that matter. And look at how great of a time that sun crystal is having. A lot of our material problems, if they were ever an issue before, aren't going to be in the coming time. And before long, we're going to have access to the iridescent altar. We've only got one more upgrade before we get here already. And tier 4 seeds do a lot for us. Things like diamonds, mithril seeds are great, elementium seeds are going to be incredible, mana steel of course is going to be very good, this rain is going to make me tear my hair out, and we also got a good ways through Astral. We're not done with it by any stretch of the imagination. This last jumble of quests down here is going to take a bit in its own regards, but there's also a lot of cool stuff down here. And we actually have access to the imperfect ritual stone now. So I'm probably going to make this in 10 seconds after I cut the video. This will let us turn it to night whenever we want to. Plus, look at all these pretty structures. And look at how much more the base is connected already, even if the path over here isn't finished yet. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And it looks like we have a couple crystals that are already ready to be harvested. I'll be doing this in the meantime, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye bye.